Think you've seen dumb people on TV? Just wait. Today we're diving into the mind of Homer Simpson with something almost resembling science to measure just how dumb he really is.
The firm declared super-duper bankruptcy, which is terrible news for the company's only stockholder, Homer Simpson.
From nonsensical quotes to decisions that defy all logic, we're ranking the most outrageous moments from the most confused mind in all of Springfield. And at the end, we'll deliver the final verdict. Is he just plain dumb or a genius in disguise? Spoiler alert, you're going to laugh and maybe even relate.
Stop! Stop! Damn it!
Criterion 1. Failures in logic. When we talk about logical reasoning, we mean the basic ability to connect cause and effect. Like, if I set the microwave on fire, it's probably not going to end well. But with Homer Simpson, things don't quite work that way. Let's start with a classic, the day he tried to put on pants over his head. And the worst part, he got mad when it didn't work. Or that unforgettable moment when he wrote the word dumb on his own forehead, looked in the mirror and got confused because it said B-mud. Yep, he thought it was a completely different word. And it doesn't stop there. In countless episodes, Homer makes decisions that defy not only human logic, but maybe even rock logic. He's pressed big red buttons just because they were shiny, tried to open a beer with an electric baseball bat, and once spent 5 full minutes trying to exit a house with no walls. These aren't just goofy mishaps, they're solid proof that Homer's brain operates on a frequency science has yet to understand.
Homer, you're dumb as a mule and twice as ugly. If a strange man offers you a ride, I say take it. Lousy traumatic childhood.
Final score for this criterion, logical dumbness, 8 out of 10. And honestly, the 2 points he got were just for remembering to breathe. Criterion 2, dumbest quotes. If Homer's actions are a collapse of logic, his quotes are a total meltdown of the English language. Homer Simpson is basically a walking generator of sentences that would make any philosophy professor quit on the spot. Let's start with one of his most iconic lines. Alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
It sounds deep until you stop for 2 seconds and actually think about it. It's like saying fire is great because it burns everything you want to burn, including your own house. Then there's, I'm smarter than the devil. Yes, he actually said that right after falling into one of the devil's most obvious traps. It's like bragging about how smart you are, then immediately tripping over a rock with googly eyes.
If I don't finish this last bite, you don't get my soul, do you?
Technically no, but
I'm smarter than the devil.
These gems became memes for a reason. They perfectly capture Homer's mind, a place where absurd ideas make total sense for about 3 seconds. And that's what makes these lines so hilarious, because deep down, there's always a tiny spark of almost functional logic. Almost. Final score for this criterion, verbal dumbness, 9 out of 10. The only reason it's not a perfect 10, every now and then, totally by accident, Homer drops a weird little truth bomb. Criterion 3, catastrophic decisions. Making decisions is a core part of adult life. You weigh your options, assess the risks, and go with the least dumb choice. Now imagine doing the exact opposite of that every single time. That's Homer Simpson. Remember that giant red button at the nuclear plant? The one clearly marked do not press. Well, guess what Homer did? Yep, he went with what looked the most fun. Spoiler, it wasn't. The result? A near meltdown in Springfield. And that was just an average Tuesday.
Hey, Chief, throw me your pea. Come on, shoot me a new one. Ooh, I'm so scared. Ned Flanders is pointing a gun at...
But it doesn't stop there. Homer's decision-making resume includes causing nuclear accidents after mistaking a safety manual for a donut menu, blowing up his own house because of a runaway pig, selling Bart's soul for a ham sandwich. All of it carried out with the confidence of someone who truly believes he's crushing it. The truth is, when it comes to choosing between instinct and intelligence, Homer always picks instinct, and his instinct, it's like a broken GPS. It always leads straight to disaster. Final score, practical dumbness, 10 out of 10. No debate here. The man has turned basic choices into apocalyptic level events. Criterion number 4, scientifically proven stupidity. So far, we've talked about bad decisions, bizarre quotes, and zero logic. But what if I told you that Homer's stupidity has an actual medical diagnosis? In the episode Homer from season 12, we learned something shocking. Homer has had a crayon lodged in his brain since childhood. Yes, a crayon, and when doctors finally remove it, something even more surprising happens. His IQ jumps to 105. That's right, with a single medical procedure, he goes from fridge-level dumb to almost smart. But then comes the most Homer plot twist ever. He realizes that being smart makes him miserable, so without a second thought, he asks the doctors to put the crayon back. That's right, he chooses to stay dumb. Oh, and before the surgery, his IQ was 55. For context, Bart's is around 90, Ralph Wiggum's is probably below 30, and Homer, he's somewhere in the middle, floating between requires adult supervision and never leave him near important buttons. His final score on the medical stupidity scale, 9.5 out of 10. He didn't quite make a perfect 10 because, technically, choosing to be dumb still requires some level of awareness. Or maybe not. Criterion number 5, functional stupidity. Now things get even more confusing, because despite everything, Homer still has a job.
Can't sleep, can't snuggle. Gonna do the unthinkable.
Homer, what do you mean?
Gotta go to work early.
And not just any job, he works at the Springfield nuclear power plant. That's right, one of the most dangerous places on Earth, and he's the guy sitting at the control panel. How is that even possible? Is it just plain stupidity or a brilliant master plan? Some say Homer isn't actually dumb, he's just pretending that behind every ridiculous mistake, there's a genius strategy. Make yourself seem useless enough that no one expects anything from you, and just coast through the most comfortable life imaginable. Need proof? He survived nuclear meltdowns, wars with his boss, 200 firings, and over 1,000 screw-ups, yet he always ends up right back at the same desk. Basically, he's too dumb to get fired, but just smart enough to never get promoted. And that brings us to the conspiracy theory. What if Homer is actually a hidden genius? Someone who figured out that pretending to be an idiot is the best way to avoid responsibility, stress, and expectations. It's like idiot kung fu, a master in the art of looking useless while the world spins around him.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were just like me.
And his final score in strategic stupidity, 6 out of 10. Because if this really is all part of a plan, then maybe the dumb ones are us. Homer's dumbest moments in history. After all the theories, criteria, and wild analysis, it's time to cut to the chase. The moments when Homer flat out reset the concept of human intelligence. Here's the top 5 most mind-blowingly dumb things he's ever done. The kind of moments that make you pause the episode and ask, did that actually happen?
Oh, it's a donkey.
Number 5, when Homer tried to eat his own finger because he thought it was a hot dog. Yes, he bit himself, then freaked out from the pain, apparently not realizing it was his own hand.
Never eat me again. Never. On the other hand, is my other finger. Do, 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 do.
Number 4, he's attacked by a wild bear, and instead of running, he tries to stare it down until he notices the bear is wearing a shock collar. So what does Homer do? He puts it on himself, he gets electrocuted, repeatedly, and he keeps testing it. Eventually, he treats the bear like a pet, because why not?
Okay, it's probably the tag. But just to be short.
Number 3, Homer buys a snowplow and starts a snow clearing business. It takes off thanks to a weird commercial and a rivalry with Barney, but then he sabotages his own neighborhood's snow just to help the competition. Naturally, he loses everything because of his own plan.
Don't worry, Homer. There's nothing wrong with a little healthy competition.
Number 2, during a school prank, Homer gets a bucket full of glue stuck on his head. He stays like that until Bart and the kids finally get it off, after he spent days communicating only through grunts and flailing arms. Evolution at its peak.
Homer, maybe I should drive.
Come on, I can see fine.
And number 1, NASA recruits Homer for a space mission, thinking a regular guy would boost ratings. Once in space, he opens a bag of chips in zero gravity, releasing a swarm of ants that short-circuit the ship's systems. He nearly gets sucked into the void of space, and only survives thanks to pure dumb luck, and maybe a floating potato chip.
I'll take care of this.
At At this point in the video, it's hard not to ask, how has this man survived over 30 seasons? And there you have it. After all the tests, scores, and unbelievable moments, we've reached the answer. Homer Simpson isn't just dumb, he's a force of nature, a living legend of cluelessness. But maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what makes him so brilliant, because in the end, between nuclear meltdowns, ridiculous one-liners, and catastrophic decisions, one undeniable truth remains. We all have a little bit of Homer inside us, and that is both hilarious and terrifying. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. What's the dumbest Homer moment you remember? Who knows, it might show up in part 2.